but was the questions I get all the time about whether or not we would try medical marijuana and cannabis oil or any of that stuff with Kyle. And for his autism or for his epilepsy, there's stories about them helping with both. And my answer is yeah, we would totally try that. I am a big believer that it should be legalized for both recreational use and medicinal use. I have no problem with any of that, and I totally think it can help a lot of kids with autism and epilepsy. But we also work with a medical team, and I've said it before. We live in the New York City metropolitan area. We've got some of the best doctors in the country, not to toot our own horn. So when we go to them and we ask them the questions about medical marijuana and whether or not we should try it, their answers are always that the type of autism Kyle has and the type of epilepsy Kyle has doesn't fit with what's really helped kids in the past. So like put the autism aside because that's more radical, but for the epilepsy, I really believe that it helps a lot of kids, and it's should be on the list of things that you can use medical marijuana for, or cannabis, or CBD oil, or whatever you want to call it. And I know they're all different. I'm just generalizing. But like everybody keeps sending me links to Charlotte's Web, which was this little girl who had like 1,000 seizures a day, and they started her on CBD oil, and it miraculously worked. And when I mentioned it to Kyle's neurologist, she said that that girl had 1,000 seizures a day, and Kyle doesn't have 1,000 seizures a day. So the type of epilepsy he has probably wouldn't be as miraculously affected by it. And the thing that she said, and that I believe too, is, I mean, she didn't say this, but what my wife and I feel is like, yeah, it's on our list. I mean, medical marijuana or whatever we want to call it is on our list of things to do. But we're kind of at a point now where, now that we're out of the biomedical Dan doctor world, we're at a place where we're not doing experiments on Kyle. We're sort of just taking one thing at a time. And right now we've got the autism is sort of under control. I mean, he's autistic, but it's his kind of autism, and it works for him. And now we're tackling the epilepsy, and we did a couple of different meds, and then we did the surgery, and now we have to let that ride its course and see how much that works, and then figure out what the next course of action is. If the surgery doesn't help as much as we want, then we'll go to our neurologist and say, what's the next thing we should try, and where does CBD oil or marijuana fit on the list of things? Is it the next med we should try? Because in my mind, it's a med. It's a natural med, but it's a med, and it's probably has less side effects than a lot of the meds, but in my mind it's another med that we should treat the same way. So that's my answer to that question.